So last October, I believe, I made a video titled Victor Wembanyama is built for the NBA. And amidst all the controversy that of course is going to come with, being so hyped up and as hyped up as Wembanyama is, I want to let you guys know that I ride on everything that I said and stand on every single point that I made in that video. And I just wanted to kind of emphasize some of those points and also disprove some of the things I've been hearing about Wemby coming into the league. I'll just get the biggest negative out of the way. The one thing that I am mainly worried about with Wembanyama is his health, because anybody that big, you do have to worry about their health. Now, with that being said, when you look at a guy like Kevin Durant, who is undoubtedly who I will continue to compare Wembanyama to, and when I get into talking about his skill set, that will be the reference point is Kevin Durant. And before anybody says he's not Kevin Durant, well, let me get into that. What allowed skinny ass 7-foot Kevin Durant to be healthy and move the way he does for up until his Warrior stint with the Achilles was his balance, his unreal balance for his size. That is something that Wembanyama, and really only Wembanyama, have. They are guards enlarged. They move like normal people, but they're way too big to be doing all that. So that is an upside in terms of Wembanyama attempting to stay healthy over the course of a long career and an 82-game season plus playoffs, yada, yada, yada. You get the gist. Now let's talk about all the other things that I've been hearing about Victor Wembanyama, starting with, I think the biggest thing is that people think he's too skinny, okay? And, I do hear people optimistically saying, well, he's 17, 18, he puts on a little bit more weight, like it's really going to work out for him. No, this is the modern NBA, okay? You have to understand the skill set needed in the freedom of movement era. First of all, people see all the unicorn shit that Wembanyama be doing, and they be like, that shit's gonna get locked up in the NBA. I will inform you right now, and I promise you, that is not what the average Wembanyama possession is going to look like in the NBA. And quite frankly, y'all are looking at the wrong clips. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm talking about mid-post or perimeter-centric, right? 1, 2 dribbles, no dribbles, shooting over top everybody. Jab step, pull up. Jab step, 1 dribble, pull up. Hezzy, 1 dribble, pump fake. Those are the type of things he's going to be doing. It is one thing to be that tall and be able to shoot, okay, with any type of ability, right? Any 7-footer that can stretch the floor, step out like that. When they're on, when you see Joel Embiid and Jokic and Kat have their big performances, like they're hitting their threes, right? And you see a guy like Porzingis, and of course, KD's more of a guard-esque, but it does apply to him too. But that is a skill set that is being picked up by a lot of the bigs in the NBA, right? When you have the ability to create your own shot, the control to take 1 dribble and go into a pull-up, and you have the lift and the speed in your jumper of that of a guard, that is a skill set that is so unique, so rare, so impossible that it should be abused, and it will be abused. Not one player, not a single player in the NBA can go check Wembanyama mid-post and prevent him from getting a look off. I guarantee it. You can move him. You could not allow him to go by you. It doesn't matter. You're not tall enough to contest his shot, and if you are, you don't have the foot speed to stand. The only person that is tall enough would be Boban Marjanovic, and he doesn't have the foot speed to stay in front of Wembanyama, nor does he ever get playing time. So it doesn't matter. Now you send a double. Well, he's just going to look. He's got the Jokic effect where he's a tall guy that can see the floor, right? And then he's just got to make the right pass, and that's going to just come over time, right? And he has good basketball instinct. We've seen the ability for him to make the right decision. And as far as he won't be able to guard real centers, he's too skinny. First of all, there's like 3 centers in the NBA that have a legitimate, lethal, back down low post game, okay, that would body him like that in any regard. Second of all, he's so tall and he has the foot control and the spring to where if you move him, he's still going to be able to recover and jump and get a valid contest on you. That's what people don't understand. He might get dunked on a couple times, but oh well, so be it. But here's why it really doesn't matter, is he doesn't have to guard true centers. He has the foot speed. You can play him at the 4. You can 100% play him at the 4 because his foot control combined with his length allows him to step out and guard guards, bro. I watched him in that video I made back in October. I was kind of dissecting the Wembanyama versus Scoot Henderson, Wembanyama's French team versus G League Unite preseason game that went on, where they both erupted, and I think Scoot team won, but Wembanyama had like 37, and it was a great game. And you watch multiple times, not only did Wembanyama have to switch on the guards and check them, he checked Scoot multiple times and stayed in front of him. Scoot scored on him a couple times. He also swatted the shit out of Scoot. But I don't know, like, numerically what the expectations are, statistically what the expectations are for a guy like Wembanyama coming in from y'all, from the general public. Like, when you have a guy up like this, do you expect him to come in and average 30 off rip? I don't think he will. I think he'll be a 22, 23 point per game guy. Obviously, he'll be the number one option on the Spurs, so maybe, like, I'm being modest. I think he'll probably get to 25 realistically at some point by the end of like his rookie year. But I don't think he's gonna come in and immediately have the wherewithal on how to break the NBA, right? But what I do know is that a guy like that, athletically, with his presence being that tall and being able to move like that, he will impact the game defensively. I think he can be in defensive player of the year, all defensive, first team, second team type of conversations in his rookie year. I see him being a 2 to 3 block per game guy. And I see him, I think the way that he can cover ground, because he's so big, he's not as fast in like freight trainers, but I think it's Giannis like because of how long his strides are and how well he's able to move. You gotta think KD can get down the floor hella quick at 6'10", and he's not like this athletic freak. He's just so nimble for his size. Same thing with Wembanyama, except Wembanyama's 7'5", so his strides are even longer, so that just makes it even more broken. But again, just like a guy like Zion Williamson, guys like this are so athletically gifted that it's impossible not to take them first overall, because if they get the opportunity and they stay healthy, and they will be generational guys. Like, you can't tell me Zion Williamson, if he was able to play at least half of every season of his career thus far, he wouldn't be up to 30 and really have this shit. Like, Zion has no experience under his belt, and he's one of the most efficient 25 point per game scorers we've seen ever, like since Shaq. That's unreal. But like, people are obviously going to say that he's going to be the biggest bust ever, and like Scoot's better. Now, okay, first of all, Scoot is a number 1 overall pick as well. He really is. Scoot is going to be unreal, and Scoot is a safe choice 100% as another guy where it's like, his impact is going to be inevitable. Even if he isn't an all-star, he's going to be an elite player in the league. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, if he's not a superstar, he will be an elite player in the league type shit. And yeah, but people, they just get sick of hearing the hype and they want to be different, right? So people are obviously going to speculate that Wembanyama is not going to be sustainable in the NBA. All I know is that when you look at the modern NBA, the rules, what you're able to do, I think a guy like Wembanyama, if you were to make the prototype build, beforehand it might have been LeBron James. Now it's Wembanyama, right? In this new era. And so when you talk about maximizing what you can do on a basketball court, think of what Stephen Curry and the Warriors did. Think of what a guy like KD is able to do, Giannis, and then think of Jokic, right? How broken Jokic is because of how well he can pass the ball and see the floor, all while being able to do center-like things, right? When you combine all those skill sets, the closest thing to the combination of being able to do that and having like it's Wemby to me. It's the closest you're gonna get, and yeah, we got a guy that can really be generational. It's impossible not to take him first overall. It's really not hard to understand that, and I'm certainly looking forward to seeing what his impact is going to be in the NBA. I think he's gonna average 23.6. 11 point whatever rebounds, maybe like 5 or 6 assists, 2.5 blocks, and 0.8 steals. And he'll probably shoot 58% from the field with like 38% from 3 type shit. That's my guess. That is my guess. We'll see. I'll go back to those numbers. Probably not. I'm probably gonna be way off, right? But we'll see. And just to clarify, before anybody comes at me, this is just his rookie year. I 100% believe he will become a 30 point per game scorer, but like I said earlier in the video, I don't think it'll be off the rip. No, it could be. He could prove me wrong, because he's a gifted offensive player. Like, he knows how to score the ball already, so he could. You never know. The NBA, the space of the NBA, sometimes it benefits people off rip. It makes the game feel easier to them because it's just, there's more space. Wembanyama could very easily be one of those guys. I don't think so. Like I said, I'm being modest. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt kind of thing. But he will get up to 30, or at least like 27, 28 in his career. I promise you that. Okay, that's all I got. Goodbye.